Okay, Aaron Munga, founder and CEO of SwyChr.
Yes, Mr. Paolo.
Aaron, thank you for coming. We met not even a year ago yet, I think.
Yes.
And I was fascinated from the first second I met you, Aaron. I really like what you guys are doing. I think that there's a big open space for it, and it's innovative, it's aggressive, it fills a need. What a great opportunity to have you come and talk to me a bit about SwyChr. So please, just a bit of an overview, what you guys are trying to do, where you're at, and let's carry on from there. Yeah?
Yep. Thank you, Paolo. I mean, I'm glad I met you as well because what you guys are doing at Prepay Nations definitely complements a lot with what we are doing at SwyChr. And I'm sure, during this conversation, we will get to explore that in more detail. But yeah, just to go back to your question, SwyChr basically is a digital wallet that leverages on the blockchain. I mean, uses blockchain technology to empower anyone with a smartphone anywhere in the world to send or receive funds, pay or be paid instantly in USD denominated transactions. So, I mean, the premise for us is if you can send a WhatsApp message, for example, if you can send a message across the world, why can't you do same with money? So it's that kind of thinking that, pushed us to create SwyChr. We want people to be able to send funds, back and forth, or send payments or receive payments just like you send a message. And, if you look at conventional technology, I mean, you cannot do that with the conventional system that we have, a lot of intermediaries and so on.
Right.
So we decided to go with blockchain technology so we can just, cut through all the intermediaries and do a completely peer-to-peer system where you can send funds back and forth instantly.
So when you say sending funds, you're sending fiat currency, or you've developed your own coin, right?
Yeah. I mean, from the name of the company, SwyChr, so you're switching from one form of currency to the other, and then back. So that, for example, if I were to send money to you, I would switch because obviously I have fiat. So I will have to switch from fiat to crypto. But again, SwyChr has done something very interesting. As a normal user, you don't need to know about blockchain. You need zero blockchain knowledge. So you simply come to the app and you add your funds from several fiat payment methods, be it mobile money, be it debit cards, be it bank transfer. And then what SwyChr does is we tokenize your funds. Again, all of that is happening in the back end to our stable token known as pUSD, Purple USD. So that's spec one-on-one with the US dollar. So when you put in your funds, we tokenize the funds for you into pUSD. We put the pUSD in your wallet, and all of that happens in the back end. And then you can transfer the pUSD from one SwyChr account to the other for free. And then on the other side, let's say you were in Cameroon and I was in Dubai. I put my funds in, it gets tokenized, I transfer to you. Then you in Cameroon can now withdraw the pUSD into your mobile money as fiat, now in Cameroon's currency. And that's where the name comes from. So you're switching from fiat to crypto, and then you're switching again from crypto to fiat. But all of this without requiring any crypto knowledge. We do all of that in the back end for you.
So that is why when I first met you, Aaron, I was fascinated, right? Because I think that, and I think this is the story that needs to be told, right? I was actually at the Crypto Expo recently, and we were talking about this, right? We were talking specifically about the fact that despite, let's say, the evolution of the blockchain, crypto technologies, cryptocurrencies, many coins that have been launched, et cetera, and put out there, the tokens, et cetera. The reality is that bringing that down, let's say, to the masses is the challenge, right? I mean, we can sit around in a boardroom with a whiteboard and talk about all the fantastic things we can do with technology, right?
Yep.
But the reality is that how do you bring that down, let's say, so that the common user, right, can solve that fundamental problem, right?
Yes.
Which is, how do I move this value internationally in real time without losing a significant portion of that through fees, through FX, et cetera, right? And we're talking about communities that are trying to send small values frequently, right?
Yeah.
I get it. If you're a business and you don't want to send $50,000 cross-border through the traditional bank channels, et cetera, you can do lots of things, right? You have lots of options. But when I need to move, 250 dirham from Dubai to Cameroon, right, to help support my family or whatever it may be, right? The reality is that I'm still losing a lot of that value, let's say, through that transaction. That's why Prepay Nation, why we said, okay, well, what can we move, let's say, that's non-cash, right? And so we put in gift cards, vouchers, telecom product, et cetera, and we built this network, right? I think that SwyChr is doing a similar thing, right? Where you're basically saying, look, we still recognize you need to move this value, right? But, by using your USDP and doing the switching yourself and showing it, make it seamless, let's say, right, to the end user. It's giving them that opportunity, let's say, without having to learn about crypto.
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
because that's I think you touched on a very important point there, and this is where sometimes technology loses, I will not say a sense of direction, but sometimes we innovate for the sake of innovating.
True.
We don't think about the people that have to use the innovation. A normal average guy will find crypto very complex, dealing with the
it's
wallet.
Daunting, right? You look at it and say, wow, that's what the big guys do.
Exactly.
I don't really understand it. I'm not touching it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. You think about, you need to think about what network it is, what's the wallet address and so on and so forth, gas fees. It sounds complex.
It's pretty easy to get the money in, but how do I get the money out?
Exactly.
Right.
So SwyChr came in and said, you know what? We are going to find a way to make crypto work for the masses, for everyone without them needing to learn about crypto. So we use crypto as blockchain and cryptocurrencies as the back end technology. But for the user, it's as simple as using WhatsApp and sending a message from one place to the other or from one account to the other.
Right.
And that's it. Money moves and no one needs to worry about what really happens in the back end. We do all of that for the users.
Okay, let me touch on the one thing that I'm sure everybody's wondering about now is, how do you make it so easy? What about from the regulatory and compliance side of things? How has your experience been since you started SwyChr? I'm sure that you spend a fair bit of effort talking to regulators, talking to central banks, etc. How's that been, that experience?
Yeah, of course. So I think the first thing has been clarity. We had this problem even with Apple, because Apple scrutinizes applications to make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
So first thing is about clarity. When people are not clear about the business model and how you do it, then there's a problem. But then we sit down with everybody and we explain to them. What we do is, first, we are a technology company. So we are kind of, I would say, Web 2.5. So there's Web 3, there's Web 2, and then SwyChr is, I don't know if there's anything like that, but SwyChr is like Web 2.5, wherein we've built a technology layer that, basically interfaces between the two technologies. And how that really works is through a lot of partnerships. So we have a lot of ecosystem partners that helps to make what we do possible. So for example, when it comes to the financial transactions, we partner with financial institutions or let's say financial service providers that are regulated and legally approved in the different markets that we operate in,
right,
to do those transactions. And what we simply do is, even with the tokenization of value, there's a lot of partnerships that go into that to make sure that everything we do is completely legal, is completely regulated and reported,
and transparent,
and transparent in the different markets. So I think it's just a very intuitive business model that we've come up with, wherein we are like an interface between all the different partners, both Web 2 and Web 3, to make this technology really useful to the common man on the street who doesn't need to understand crypto. So everything we do is, like I said, completely, I would say, whitelisted. Working with different ecosystem partners who are regulated, and all the transactions are being reported where they need to be reported. So that's how we've been able to make what we do possible.
Got it. Aaron, I think one reason why you and I kind of connected very quickly when we first met was, I've been working for most of my career in emerging markets, right? And for me, let's say focusing on financial services for the unbanked or underserved, or financial inclusion, as it's been coined in many places, is core, right? To me, as a mission, right? And I see that with you as well. I see that kind of common mission inside SwyChr. Can you share with me a bit of kind of success story, things that like you've seen where, you know what? Because for me, it's the thing, right? That drives you, right? Okay, you get caught up in technology discussions, compliance discussions, pricing, how do we do things better, operational efficiencies in your company. But then you get out in the field, and you see, wow, you know what we've built here is actually helping somebody, right? Share a bit,
Yeah, so the success stories are quite a lot, but one thing I would tell you is, again, when it comes to crypto or financial services and so on, in the rest of the world, it's really advanced and there are so many options. But within the African continent, people will not believe that it's still almost impossible to move money from one part of Africa to the other. So that's where, I will touch on one success story that particularly stood out for me. So there is a rapper based in Ghana, and there is an artist also based in Cameroon. They were looking to do a featuring. Like the artist in Cameroon was supposed to pay the guy in Ghana for a verse, and there was really no way to send that money. And then someone told them about SwyChr, and they were skeptical. So the guy actually reached out to me on social media. We discussed. I guided him on how to do the transaction, and I'm sure at some point that song will be released. A collaboration between an artist based in Cameroon and another artist based in Ghana. And I'm really proud that SwyChr is in the middle of that, as the platform that made that possible. So things like that, keeps me excited. You know that you're creating a real product that is solving a real problem for real people in the world, not just innovation for the sake of it.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Good. All right. Next steps. Where are you going with SwyChr?
Okay. That answer is quite long, but it's long and exciting, but definitely I'll try to summarize it. So of course, I would say we are quite excited with, our partnership, our recent partnership with Prepay Nations that will help us to bring more value to the ecosystem. So soon enough, SwyChr users will be able to avail a lot of other products, airtime, data bundles, and so on and so forth on SwyChr. And then we are looking at payments as well, not just sending money back and forth, but also giving normal day-to-day vendors the ability to collect payments from their customers digitally who walk into their shops or their place of business using a simple QR code scan and pay technology, which we are already working on. We are already quite close to rolling out. We'll start with Cameroon. We'll start with a few cities in Cameroon, and based on how that goes, we can now roll it out to many more cities. And there are a lot of other exciting things coming up, including a recent deal that we also closed that will give us the ability to issue Naira bank accounts in Nigeria on the app. So anyone anywhere in the world who wants to do business in Nigeria, wants to collect payments locally in Nigeria, through bank transfers, and wants to make local payments in Nigeria, will be able to do that through the app. And as we discussed when we first met, the vision that we really have for SwyChr is to position SwyChr as a kind of global peer-to-peer payment system with a keen focus on Africa. So 10 years down the line, I really think it will be almost impossible for an average African to spend maybe a week without using SwyChr for something. Maybe you're just paying for goods and services. Maybe you're receiving funds from your relatives abroad. Maybe you're sending funds to some people within Africa. Maybe you're paying your utility bills and so on and so forth. Maybe you're buying other digital products, and so on and so forth. So that's really the vision that we have for SwyChr. We want SwyChr to become part of people's everyday lifestyle, especially within the African continent. And I will just quickly touch on something that I think I actually mentioned this to you as well. So when we started SwyChr, we wanted to move fast. So we did a lot of integrations with external tools, and we were supporting our customers through WhatsApp. But in a week's time, or let's say in 2 weeks' time, we are launching our own blockchain-based chat application that will be used as a customer support tool for SwyChr, but will also be a standalone chat application. That guarantees privacy because it's completely end-to-end encrypted, chat history and everything saved on the blockchain, video and audio calls possible. You don't even need a mobile number to sign up. And if you already have SwyChr, you don't need to create an account. So it's the same account.
Seamless. Seamless sign on.
So
fantastic.
We will use this for customer support, but we also hope that this will really redefine how people communicate globally. And that is another, because people think blockchain is all about cryptocurrency. So one of the reasons why we pride ourselves and we really pushed ourselves to do this, because we need to show, the world needs to understand that the blockchain technology is more than just cryptocurrency. The blockchain technology can revamp almost every industry, and we are proud to take the lead, as SwyChr, to start using the blockchain to redefine how people communicate.
Aaron, I'm a true believer in Rising Africa, right? I think it's long overdue, right? And this kind of innovation and this kind of focus by yourself, your team, SwyChr. I'm a big fan, right? I think you guys are doing a fantastic job, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Anything we can do to help facilitate you guys on your journey, we're there, right? So
no, I think you guys are really doing a lot, giving us access to, almost 100 markets, for airtime top up, data bundles, gift cards. That's fantastic. I think that's already a huge contribution to our journey, because imagine if we were to do that on our own, that would take us years. But thanks to the partnership, we are able to just plug and play, and it works.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Aaron, thanks again for your time.
Yep.
So good to see you, and let's keep it going, huh? Let's keep pushing hard, both of us, and we'll get there, right?
Yeah.
We have a massive task at our hands, lots of opportunity, lots of hard work, but I'm really proud to be part of this journey of yours.
Thanks so much, Paolo.
Thanks for coming to join me today.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yep.